79 Gary Searle is the car that brought the race to the halt there. And the black flag has gone out for the Queenslander, Scott Hutchison. I do believe it's not for driving tactics. I think there might be a buckle wheel at the back. Buckled wheel on the back, I think, is why the decision has been made. But it does stand. There's a flat tyre for Searle too. He's out of the event. The black flag does stand on Scott Hutchison. Right, that is official. It's not because of Scott Hutchison's driving tactics. It is because of the buckled rear wheel. We're still under a yellow light condition because there is obviously some discrepancy in the actual order, in the actual lineup. We just stand by and wait and see what position change is going to be made. We've also got a car down here in turn 1 who's in need of assistance too, the tow truck on the circuit. It's the Yellow Falcon of Ken Baker. And our wins or lose timer shows 42 laps to go. Now, the position change is that Adrian Anderson, I think, is not in his position. Of course, that's a bit hard for lap scorers too. There are 2 number 6s involved right there at that position of the race. Uralla 6 and Newcastle 6. But our lap scorers have their methods of working out the point situation, the lap situation. We stand by for the restart. The restart is made. Peter Bevan, oh, Ian Walters headed straight for the fence. Alan Butcher was unable to stop. Alan Butcher was unable to stop, and he's ploughed into Steve O'Connor and trying to back off him and can't. And that was one heck of a mix-up going into turn 1. All brought about by the fact that cars, I think, were trying to get into there too quickly indeed. The tension mounting on the Coca-Cola 1000. The decision by the steward is Peter Unwin to the rear of the field. Oh, there's Alan Denyer out with a flat tyre too. Bad luck for Denyer. He was doing so well. And yellow and red lights flashing everywhere down there at our crash scene. Now Ian Walters is climbing out of the car. He's okay. He does not need medical attention, but he certainly does. And he's sitting back. We now have fire in the Alan Butcher car when he attempted to start there. But our fire crew right on the job and has the problem solved. Rod, doing a bit of quick calculation here, informs me that 9 of the original starters have been forced to withdraw. A couple of those with tyre damage. John Smith went out early too. If we have a look across the infield, we can survey some of the retired entries. That's Ken Baker over in the centre there. Steve O'Connor, he's out from that last incident, so too is Ian Walters. John Smith has been forced to retire also. Gary Searle is on the infield with a flat tyre. Scott Hutchison, of course, is out with that buckled back wheel. Alan Butcher is now out of the event. Bernie Johnson's in the infield there as well. Pulling them back together again for the start. Now the green flag falls. Brian Burrell taking the lead now after things have been sorted out. Graham Lilford is boxing on in second place, and Don McEwen running third. Paul McHugh is up the fourth, and Bevan pressuring there behind Ralph Ranger, with Adrian Anderson coming through on the inside as well. Now our race leader is the Silver Mini of Brian Burrell in car 18. Plenty of action back through the pack though, as Adrian Anderson begins to make up the leeway. Race leader is Brian Burrell. Then comes Graham Lilford, followed by Don McEwen, then Paul McHugh. Adrian Anderson is next, followed by Ralph Ranger. Then comes Peter Unwin, Gordon Cox and Gary Bevan, with John Nesbitt, Dave Hibbert and the United States driver Tom Brazzati right back at the rear of the field. We have a yellow light with Don McEwen, the car in trouble in turn 4.
Plenty of action going on out there in this annual Coca-Cola 1000. Brian Burrell now brought back to the field again. Adrian Anderson gets an opportunity to get back there into the action. There's plenty of heavyweight driving going on out there, and one must admire the absolute skill of these fellows. And McEwen is allowed to go up into the number 3 slot apparently, or 2 slot. Then Paul McHugh, Adrian Anderson. Then we're looking for Peter Unwin to go up, and he's made some ground. Remember, he was put to the back of the field. Then Gordon Cox, Gary Bevan, John Nesbitt, Hibbert in 96 and Rosati at the tail of the field. But hang on here, let's have a look at Lilford. Still starting to get them into position here. There are 39 laps to run. in this Coca-Cola 1000, and the yellow light and yellow flag being displayed. That's Brian Burrell in 1, McEwen in 2, McHugh is in 3. Now he's certainly made his way up there. Adrian Anderson in 4 after getting into all kinds of bother. Then on the outside of him, that's Peter Unwin. Inside there is Gordon Cox in a prominent spot. Graham Lilford seems to me to be having some clutch trouble. I'd say he's rolling there consistently, and I did notice that he was the only car rolling consistently, and he's gone into 2. So it's Bugs Burrell in the 1 slot as they come round the corner. Start affected again at lap 39, and it's Brian Burrell away here from Graham Lilford, followed by Don McEwen. Then we've got Paul McEwen, Adrian Anderson really locking horns as they came round the corner, and thanks, says Don McEwen, as he's straightened up by Anderson. And by Jove, the Northern District rider, the driver from Uralla, is really showing them the way. Now that's classic driving there. He got out of all kinds of bother and he set sail now. After Brian Burrell and Lilford, who is leading from Anderson. Oh, there's McEwen in a spin again in exactly the same spot as he did it before. Gary Bevan got away on the inside of him. The green light is on, and they're not going to stop them this time, I feel. McEwen is held down there in the corner, but the green light is still on, and they're going to go round him. Now McEwen's got the message. He either gets out there and gets into it, or they're not going to stop it. There's trouble. Trouble over there in the corner with the car going backwards, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them involved. 4 involved. Gary Bevan, John Nesbitt, Tommy Rosati of the United States, and I think that is Paul, no, yes it is, it's Paul McHugh in the middle of it all.